Hi. Happy Friday. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining. How's your week been? Hi, Spoopy Kitty. Sorry I'm so late, guys. Hi, Lacey. Hi, Olson. Hey, guys. Hi, M there. Ooh. M3. Oh. M395. I don't know how I'm supposed to say that. I'm so sorry. But hi. Pretty good. I worked. And then excited to do study hall. And then I'm doing a podcast with another show tonight. I totally just spit at the camera. That's gross. And I'm very excited about that. I'm a little nervous, so excited. How about you guys? And do you have any fun weekend plans? I promise I'm strong enough to open a face mask. Yes, today I'm going to start with a face mask. I always lose one in the package. This is disgusting. I have no idea if I'm doing this right. You're sadly working, but your girlfriend is helping make plans for your birthday. When's your birthday? That's so exciting. Oh wait, you're supposed to go this way. Shit. Perfect. That's super cool. Oh, Olson, sorry. Going to a trans event in Connecticut tomorrow. What's the event? That's really cool. July 11th. Is that Gemini or is that Cancer? No, Cancer is the 23rd on. Gemini. You're doing a tea party with your community. That's awesome. Oh, God. Feels so weird. Oh. My pores. Oh, you are Cancer. Okay. I get the dates messed up. It's an event in New Haven. Connecticut Trans Kink event. That's awesome. Are you going with a bunch of other people? Also, as the train goes by, I'm very excited. I got all my Star Wars figures up. It's been over 6 years since I've been on someone else's podcast, so I'm going the extra mile today. I want my pores to be tight. These keep sliding down. Hanging out with other trans folks. Cool. That is in my eye. God damn it. Going with your new girlfriend. Ooh, going with your new girlfriend. Offered to take pictures and Polaroids for the event. That's super cool. How big is the event? Like, is it like a pre-Pride event? I know that's early, but not gonna waste any time. Time is of the essence. And I also washed all of my brushes, so they are perfectly clean for tonight. Kind of Boston Pride on the 6th. Ooh. I've never been to Boston Pride. I'm ashamed to say that. I really should go, though. Oh, do you say you're in Connecticut? Do you live in Connecticut? Where did I put my mirror? I fear I've lost my mirror since the last stream. Okay. Interesting. You live on the border of Connecticut and Massachusetts. Nice. I lived in Mass for 4 years. I went to school there. And my mom is from Connecticut. But another New England girly, we love to see it. Sorry, it's gonna keep bugging me. I really need the mirror. I also got my Hot Wheels up as well, which you can't really see. I have a bunch over on the other side of the room too. But look at them all. Okay, I'm gonna start digging. Okay, I give up for now. You didn't realize there are so many larger content creators in New England. Like who? I was listening to the Maddie Morphis's podcast. It's Give It To Me Straight, and I listened to the one with Vanilla Mace. I've listened to that a few times. I had no idea she lived in Boston for a while. She's not there anymore. I think she's in Hollywood, but. And Jenna Marbles, I think, is in Boston, or was. The Boston to Hollywood pipeline. Have you been to Boston Pride? They keep sliding. My hand is shaking so bad. Not to jinx myself, but I'm really praying for like a pretty normal makeup night, because the past 2 weeks that I've gone live have had some kind of makeup disaster, like lipstick getting all over my body, or having to do my eyeliner 3 times before I got it decent. We need good vibes tonight. Oh, I gotta do the eagle claw to see everything. Gonna close one eye, see if that helps. Also, I'm really proud of the MTF school I put out on, was it Thursday? I have no idea. The one I put out this week about HRT, I had a lot of fun with that one. I'm very, very proud of it. Let me know if you saw it and you liked it. Olsen, yeah, it will be my first time going to Boston Pride. Normally, I felt like I didn't belong, even if I always was more of an ally in the past. Yeah. Awesome. I hope you have fun. Do you know when it is? If it's a Saturday, I probably won't be working. I need to pull up a calendar. Pride month is June. That is... June is literally like... It's on the 6th? God damn. I wish I could go. We have plans with Mike's family. We're gonna see The Mandalorian and Grogu. But I really hope you have fun. I wonder if there's like another day or something. They can't just do it one day. And when I was living in Boston, I was always home for like the first part of the summer, like off classes. So I never was like in the city when Pride was happening. So I just have never gone. But I've seen like a lot of friends go to it, and it's been like, it looks really cool. I've gone to Bangor, Maine Pride. I don't think I've gone to Portland Pride. Let's just say I've not been to as many Pride events as I should be. I'm gonna snatch my unibrow. Oh my god. Speaking of, hi Ruby. No, it's not speaking of unibrow. Hi Ruby. Speaking of, I talked about going in your podcast earlier. I haven't like officially like introduced it though. Oh my god. You caught me. I'm getting ready. I'm so excited. Ruby Ray at Fire From Heat. I'm doing her podcast, Kaleidoscope, Perspectives Beyond the Surface tonight, and I'm very excited. Or like, it's Saturday, her time, but yeah. So I'm getting ready. You're making coffee. You're probably just, yeah, you're probably just waking up. I'm excited. I'm going to be wearing a trans flag colored jumpsuit that I made a few years ago, and I have not worn in a very, very long time, so I'm very excited. So I'm wearing shorts that match, but I don't know if I can stand up without knocking everything down. It should be fun, but then there's Rhode Island Pride 2 weeks later, and then Providence Town in August. Oh, Provincetown. P-Town Pride is crazy. Oh my god. I've been to P-Town once. It wasn't during Pride, but every month is Pride Month in P-Town. It's so fun. I hope you get the chance to go. I have not been to Rhode Island Pride either, but I love Providence. Are you going to any drag shows or anything, or just kind of like the parade? And Ruby, I'm very excited to meet you and Luigi, so excited. I'm cleaning out every pore. I need this eye mask because I literally like worked an 8-hour shift. And it was brutal. There are a lot of places throwing after parties, but I wasn't sure how everything will go, so I didn't get any tickets to after parties, drag events. Gotcha. That's so cool. I know Gay Bashed Boston. I don't think I've been. I hope my roommates are okay. I hear a lot of coughing. Yeah, that sounds fun though. I hear you about the tickets. I feel like it's only fun if you go in like a big group. You know what I mean? I've been doing my eyebrows for like 20 minutes. But they must be perfect. You know the new lesbian bar? Danny is doing a trans mask event for Masquerade. A trans mask event for trans mask event, mask for Masquerade. That's amazing. Mask for mask. Wearing masks. Oh. That sounds really fun. Okay, time to get these bitches off. What are your favorite things to do in Boston besides Pride? Or, I mean, outside of Pride? I know there's a couple of us in the area. I think Audrey works in Mass. I'm trying to think if anyone else is in New England who's in our group chat. It is really cool though. We have people from all over the world in our group chat. Speaking of, If anyone is not part of our group chat for MTF Study Hall and wants to, please speak up. I will add you. I also want to try something kind of fun with my hair tonight. Oh, also, announcement. I was in an independent movie that happened in New England a couple years ago. It is being re-released tonight. It's about, basically, it's like a satire-ish commentary on fascism in America and fascist media. It's called Chapman Speaks, and it came out originally in 2024, but they're re-releasing it now that we're in the another Trump era and living through it. So, please check it out. I'm going to write it in the comments. I play Janice, a news producer, which is funny because that's what I used to do for work. Here's the link to their page. Chapman Speaks movie. And it's on the overtly critical films YouTube channel. Okay. So yes, that was my first film role, and I did that a few years ago, and I was really, really proud of it. So I have a bunch of friends who did that with me. Please check it out. It's free. It's on YouTube, and it's all about American politics, as told by a group of student filmmakers from New England. So I'm gonna make a reel later, kind of announcing that as well. So I really hope they can get some new viewers of it. I'm really, really proud of it. I'm kind of a smaller part in the movie, but it's still really, really good. I'm a smaller. I'm so pale you can see my veins. Oh God. Yeah, you really can. Wow, my eyes look like shit. Whoa. Did I have an allergic reaction, or is that just my body? What? Okay. I'm putting it down to start on other makeup. I'm going to do some more moisturizer, but I'm going to wash off the rest of the face mask first with a little bit of a damp washcloth. So I have to tell this like really funny story about what happened at work today. So I work at a drugstore. There's also a pharmacy, and you get it. One of the things we do is people can print photos. You know, people come in, these old people come in with their cameras and their phones and want to print like 300 pictures. So as a store associate, it's my job to like go over and like, you know, help people if they ask for it. So I had this really old guy come in today, and he's like, he wants to print some pictures, and I'm like, yep, I can help you. He's like, are you, I don't know if he or someone else was like, you look young, you look like you could do this. And I'm like, sure, I can try. And so he handed me his phone. I like sent the pictures to the kiosk, and then printed his pictures, and then he's like, you remind me of like my friend's daughter, who's really cute. And I was like, okay, where's this going? And he was like, and she's older than you. And I was like, I'm 27, go on. A lot of the old men think I'm like 16, which is a little scary. And then it just kept like escalating, and he was like, where's your manager? And I was like, oh, he's around. And this guy was like, I need to tell your manager you're going to do very well here because you have a great customer service attitude and you're very nice for old guys to look at. And I wanted to like run out of the room screaming because I was just like, stop talking. And I wasn't gonna call my manager up for that, but he like kept going on, and it was just like really, really uncomfortable. And I had like another coworker next to me, and I was like, okay, like there's like a line between like, okay, you can be nice, you can compliment me, am I gonna accept it? That's a different story. Do I believe you? That's a different story. But when you keep going on and on about it and then want to tell my manager about it, exactly, Spoopy Kitty. I was like, and the fact that you're nice for old guys to look at is like the creepiest thing you could say. Like, that's not, when you're just trying to do your job, that's not flattering. Like, that's like, it makes you so uncomfortable because it's your job to help these people and it's your job to be nice. So when my manager eventually did walk by, I stopped him and I told him, and I was like, this man would like me to relay this message to you. And my face was like beet red, and I was so embarrassed, and I was like, oh, you've gotten that too when you're 18. Yes. Oh my God. And it's like, it is the world of misogyny. I understand that. I've been living in it for almost 10 years now, but I still just don't get used to it. And it's like the men will like corner you at your job and like not, it's like a problem when, you know, you're like a cashier and the conversation and the focus isn't on like the transaction anymore. Like, that's when it becomes a problem for me, is like they're more interested in talking to me than like letting me do my job. And it's like really uncomfortable. So And then they don't want to be told no, they don't want to be rejected. So you either play along or you're the bitch. Or it gets to a point where you have to call the manager. And, like, there's just, like, no winning. So I just felt so uncomfortable today. I was just like, I have so many stories like that where they'll be like, oh, you're my photo lady. I come back here to see you. I should come back again soon. I'm like, no. I literally, like, when I started last year, they gave me a name tag and I stopped wearing it because I was like, I hate when, like, you go up, the first thing, like, an old man wants to know is, like, what's your name? Where do you live? And I'm like, I don't want to give you either of those pieces of information. And I think I shared last week, but I got a fake name tag with a nickname. And some of the regulars have started to know me by that now instead of my actual name. And I, like, feel bad now because, like, a lot of it's just, like, really nice old ladies, and they'll call me Allison. Same, never wear it. Yeah, exactly. And I'm like, they're like, hey, Allison. And I'm like, hey. Like, I don't have the heart to be like, listen, you've been calling me Allison for a year. That's not my name. But I don't know. Especially, like, my store, too, because it's all retired old people. And yeah, so it's like that. And I miss my male privilege sometimes. God, I miss it. You have a fake name at work too. And these are, like, things that, like, before transitioning, you wouldn't, like, think about. But, like, once you transition, it gets, like, ooh, it gets spooky. Like, when you see men staring at you across the store, or, like, there are, like, a couple of people behind whoever's in front in line, and they're just like, and bye, like, anyways, so that's what happened to her, and it just made me, I just was like, anyways. Fake name tags, though. Thank God. I just don't wear one anymore. Which, I don't know if that's technically breaking policy. I still wear a uniform. What am I doing? I'm doing makeup. I haven't even started makeup. I just did moisturizer. I need to do concealer. Where's my concealer? Oh, I'm doing nail polish today too. I should start there. I have this, like, really sparkly rainbow glitter that I really want to use because the podcast is called Kaleidoscope. So I might as well start that first, and then it'll have plenty of time to dry. Or should I do that last? Should I do the makeup first? Maybe I should do the makeup first. Olsen, I had something like that a month ago when I was walking late at night in Hartford, where I was like, once I transition, I won't be able to do this without thinking twice. Yeah. Also, Hartford. Scary. No, nothing against Hartford. I've just heard that Hartford and New Haven can be a little scary. But yeah, exactly. It's like your safety becomes a question mark. And it's really sad. And it's really, that's why, like, the character I do, her name is Jennifer Male Privilege, because I still kind of go through my life with, like, that internal sense of male privilege, even though it's constantly being disproven. And like, like everywhere I go, I'm like, damn, this shit sucks for women. So it's so scary, like, God. But you just have to kind of like be like, your situational awareness, for better or worse, gets way better. You know, just like learning how to be safe. Exactly, like avoiding walking late at night. It's a lot more to worry about. And it sucks because it's like we didn't choose to be trans. So it's like all this extra shit that like we have to deal with. And as a trans person too, like, God, you know, that like that makes things even more complicated. So it's a lot. And then it's like, you know, or just avoid men. Dude, I'm so scared of men. I'm so scared of men. I mean, besides my boyfriend, but I am terrified of men. So that's why I hate retail. But I have to, because I have to pay my bills and it pays for my therapy and my meds. But God, I really hope there's a day when I can get my business off the ground and have a little bit more control over, like how, like my interactions in public. And I can control my safety a lot more. So, but alas, sacrifices have to be made to survive. I cannot find my concealer. That is really... Have I looked where? Oh, it's right there. Never mind. Okay. We're good. But I don't know. I feel like there's like some... It's kind of... I hate being like a downer. Like when like talking to like early transition girls and be like, oh, it's gonna get scary. But like, it's such a disservice to not make people aware. And then, you know, it's so important. It's so important to be safe and to know what to be on the lookout for. Because if you don't know what to look out for and then it's happening, you know... Sorry. My skin feels baby smooth after that face mask. But there's a lot of things that are like fun to joke about and like fun to talk about with like transitioning, but there's just like a lot of like real life stuff too that's just not fun but important. How do you even get into relationships after transitioning? Seems terrifying. Yeah, girl, it's a lot. Yeah, so it depends on like, so I'll speak from experience and then, because that's what I know how to speak from, I guess. And then, I don't know, I'll start there. I had no dating experience before I transitioned. you know, I had like boyfriends who were like lived in another state, you know, and I saw once at like a high school convention, but like I didn't start dating until almost a year into my transition. Hey, Julia. And I was stealth for survival when I got to Boston, because I got really bullied when I came out and transitioned in Bangor, Maine. So when I got to Boston, I was like, I'm gonna be stealth, but then I also kind of was a little didn't make the smartest decisions, I'd say. And I was going on dates without telling guys I was trans, and that was very dangerous. And I definitely don't recommend that. It is tough. I mean, maybe since I've been on the dating scene, there's been like newer apps and stuff that are more supportive for like the community and like people who are interested in the community. I just kind of did Tinder and Bumble, and like I said, when I first started dating, I didn't disclose, and I went on a couple dates, and then I really liked this guy, and I ended up going on a date with him to his house without telling him. I was pre-op. We didn't do anything, but then I told him the next day, and he said he was supportive and it was okay, but, you know, it wasn't. And I ended up being a secret in his family, and he just was not supportive of me being trans at all. So I got stuck in that relationship for 2 years. And then after that relationship, her being the app Her, if that was unclear. Oh, wait, sorry. I like Her. Oh, the app Her. But you're also gay as fuck. Okay. I haven't heard of the app Her. Is it good for the community? I swear to God, like, if I catch any of you on Grindr, I'm taking your phone. Like, I got my life fucked up on Grindr because I thought, oh, hey, let's use an app where straight men usually aren't. Didn't work out the best for me. So I highly recommend. Oh, dude, Grindr. It's got a T for T setting. Yeah, honestly, dating T for T would have probably saved me like years of my life. You know what I mean? Like, but I was like, no, I want a cis man. I want a straight man. So like in more recent years, before I got into my new relationship, I would put it in my bio in Tinder, and I'd be like, trans, post-op, whatever, just being very upfront. And then when people would match with me, I'd be like, first thing I'd say is like, hey, just confirming, you read this, are you okay with it? And then it doesn't have to go any further than that if they're not. And that is the principle I stuck with until I met Mike, my current boyfriend, and we've been together for 3.5 years. So I think, I don't know, I've seen some girls joke about like teehee, like, I'm just not going to tell them, but it's like, girl, like, look at the stats, Diva, like, it's not looking good for us, like, please be safe, you know, I don't know, but yeah, I cannot stress enough, please stay off of Grindr. If you need to know why, I have a whole podcast about it called The Will of the Hunted, and that's all I'm gonna say. But yeah, I mean, dating's not completely hopeless if you're trans. It's just, you just have to be smarter about it, and it's just a lot more trial and error. And hopefully today people are like more open-minded, but like you still have to like, there's a lot more rejection. and that sucks. But like, you'll find them, diva. You'll find your prince or your monarch. I don't know if this is helpful at all. That was a very long answer. So yeah, just like, I don't know. Honesty is the best policy, in my opinion. Use not Grindr. Use her if that's great. Be safe. Please meet people in person, like in public places first, before going to private residences. Please. I'm begging. And also have your friends meet whoever they are too. Show your friends their social media so that everyone can feel out the vibe, and just make sure everyone, you know, in your life is cool with it. Because if you have good friends, they'll tell you when you're like, when it's not the tea and you need to get rid of whoever you're with. So yes, makes sense. Kind of want to live. LOL. Girl. I wish I could have taken my own advice and go back. Sorry, I'm gonna catch up. Julia, I was in a 5-year relationship which went from ostensibly cis and straight to trans. T for T straight. Wait. I gotta do the math on this one. Hold on. It went from cis and straight. So I'm guessing AMAB, AFAB. To trans T for T straight. Wait, did you both transition? Damn. That's crazy. Have you seen that meme? It's not funny, but it's like, you can get a like laugh out of it if you're in the community, is like, that's just being straight with extra steps. That's so bad. T for T is so much safer though. And I know most of the trans people I know do date T for T, because then people are in the community, they get it. And then you already have that like bond. Olsen, I met my current girlfriend on Tinder. She had trans in her bio and I just had gender questioning. Oh my gosh. Okay. Yay. Success on Tinder. You had just had gender questioning. Did you start transitioning as well? I'm trying to remember. But, that's awesome. I hope it's going well for you guys. I met Mike on Tinder, so it's not, that's like one of the more safe ones, I guess. I don't know. It's been a while for me. Yes, makes sense. Kind of want to live. Yes, please be safe. Sometimes you wish you could like guys because compet goes hard. But also, I'm so glad I like women and don't have to deal with dating men. What is compet, if you don't mind me asking? Yes, he transitioned, and then later on, I was like, actually, me too. And then I broke up with him because I realized I'm not attracted to men. But we're friends still. That's so common, though, like, where people, like, get married. And then, you know, so many years down the line, one of y'all transitions, and then it becomes like a domestic partnership or like a friendship. It's so common. What am I doing with my makeup? Compulsory heterosexuality? I've never heard of that before. Compet. What is this? I don't know. We're going with it, guys. Olsen, I was looking to start. I went to my endocrinologist, but they kind of gave me the run around, so I had to contact my insurance to try and find a new endocrinologist. Oh, okay. So you're in the process of like looking for one? I apologize if you've told me this before. Societal pressure that everyone is supposed to be cis and straight, and everyone kind of assumes that. Tea. So tea. You know, I have no idea what step of makeup I'm on. I've been doing my concealer for 15 minutes. Okay, brows. Hi Celeste. Hi everyone else who's joining. But yeah, just like, please be safe. Hookup culture is another discussion. And that is an even scarier discussion. T for T is safer, but more importantly, trans women are hot, and I like them. Slay. Yeah. I'm very afraid of how this makeup is going so far. Trans women are the best. But fuck chasers. Last time we talked, you said you were going to get an endocrinologist to talk to them about starting, but then they said you need a letter from a therapist and even going to a gender therapist. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you for reminding me. I hope that's going well. I hope that works out soon. Keep me posted. Julia, I think you're at the point in your transition where you'd feel weird with being with a cis woman because you'd be worried you get slotted into the position of pseudo man. Fuck chasers, that part. No, don't fuck chasers. No! No! Out of context. Bad advice. Girl, I'm bi, pan, but I was too scared to date women until I transitioned because, my dysphoria just got so bad around cis women and still does because, like, I'm kind of built different, you know? Like, I'm a little bit like, oh, and they're like, ah! And I'm, you know, I just feel very masculine around them, which, like, with all the gender affirming shit I've had done isn't, like, as bad now, but still, like, I was so intimidated by women, but also I hated that they saw me as a man because that made me so deeply dysphoric that I just kind of was like, no, I don't like women. Until, like, after I transitioned and then it was, like, deep into relationships with men. So, I know, I feel, Spoopy, I feel like T for T could be fun, but I fear I'm on the aro ace spectrum, so kind of difficult. So ace is asexual. What is aro, if you don't mind me asking? I had crushes on lots of trans guys, but I never ended up in a relationship with them. Olsen, first time you went to karaoke with your girlfriend, you were surprised about how free everyone was, just hooking up and making out at karaoke? Wait, like, at karaoke, people are hooking up? I'd be shocked too. Spoopy, I've had to deal with some chasers and they are kind of silly. They are not it. Oh my god. Dude, I had my second boyfriend. My first boyfriend hated that I was trans. And, like, made me a secret. And, like, refused to be intimate with me until I had surgery. Dumped his ass way too late. Second boyfriend, I was like, ooh, let's find a guy who likes trans women. Chaser. Not saying all men who like trans women are chasers, but I ended up on the chaser side, and he gave me a lot of shit about wanting to have surgery because he wanted to make me love the body I had. And he would call me a trap and all this stuff, and it just was not good. Not good. And then I've kind of found people in the middle. I had my third boyfriend was with me when I had surgery, and then got really creepy about it, which I didn't even think was a thing. And it was like this, like, misogyny virginity thing where he's like, oh, it's factory fresh. Kicked him out of my house so fast. I broke up with him while he was driving away. And then my fourth boyfriend said that he swiped right on me because it sounded interesting that I was post-op and had a neovagina. Which I don't know why I was that explicit about it in my bio. But also that really kind of hurt that's why he swiped on me. But hey, we dated for a year. And Mike is the only one who's like really never like made me feel weird about it at all. Sorry, let me catch up on... Okay. Julia, I cuddled with a trans girl and it was actually really good for my self-image. Because I was like, damn, I think she's pretty and feminine and many of her features are not dissimilar to mine and I don't view her as masculine. Yeah. Olsen, yes. Hook up at karaoke with a bunch of trans girls. The dolls are getting it. Julia, I had dysphoria about my hands and then we compared hand sizes and her hands were bigger than mine and I think their hands are cute and feminine. So I stopped having dysphoria about my hands. Nice. Actual nightmare. Sounds interesting. Sunbleached flies. Hi. I don't think I've talked to you before. You're trying and failing to teach yourself standing up straight and walking with your feet together. Oh, like posture and like kind of standing up straight and walking with your feet together. Oh, like changing your gait. I've never thought about that before. I do remember my mom kind of clocking me because I was like trying to do the whole pussy stunt, like runway walk. And then she's like, you just can walk normally. Like, it's fine. Because I was like trying to be like, you have, Eden. I changed my username. I've been in these lives. Oh. Am I following you? Are you in the group chat? I usually take attendance, but I'm tight on time tonight, so I'm just gonna take screenshots. Sorry for pausing the live. Your parents clocked your gay ass since birth. Wait, Spoopy, are you in the group chat? Okay, sorry guys. My friend told me to walk around with my shoulders back, but not swinging them around. Yes. You're not in any group chats. Do you want to be in our MTF school group chat? It's like a little support group for the dolls. What was I thinking of? Yeah, so something that I've always thought about is that women's center of gravity is in their hips and men's center of gravity is in like their chest. So like men walk like this, and then women, like when you're walking, it's more like your bottom half moving, if that makes sense, than like your top half moving. So yeah. Okay, sounds good. I don't know if that makes sense, but like I've always thought about that. I feel that. My footsteps have gender dysphoria. You've gotten to where you instinctively walk effeminately. Nice. Like with hormones too, I feel like it just... And then, you know, the societal acid rain of misogyny sinking into your DNA, it eventually kind of... You become molded to how society deems you to be appropriate in terms of behavior and posture. I forgot what I was going to say. Walking in heels also helps with that. You listen to girl boss music and feel your body instinctively walking with the hips. Exactly. That's it. Spoopy, you gave up on the societal stuff too much effort. Yeah. And that's like, God, there's so much discourse on Instagram and on TikTok about, you know, trying, like, if girls are trying hard enough to pass or not. And I know there's like a lot of factors that go into that, but it's like, it's just such a head fuck conversation, because it's like it really does boil down to misogyny. Well, okay, so there's safety, and I've watched some really cool creators talk about this, is like, trans women of color are like, especially like Black trans women, society views them inherently as more masculine, so they have to try harder to pass and be seen as acceptable. So when like white trans women like get kind of an easier, like they kind of get off easy with that and they don't have to try as hard. But then there's also the overarching umbrella of misogyny that is like forcing everyone to have to work harder. And it's like, yeah, I hope I explained that correctly. You finally hit the point where you're getting comfortable with doing things that aren't traditionally feminine. Nice. Yeah, like, you kind of get to a point where you're like, okay, you kind of figure out where you are comfortable, where you are in that spectrum. And then, like, where, if you get pushed any further, it doesn't feel comfortable and it doesn't feel like yourself anymore. If that makes sense. So, yeah. I still wear men's clothes a lot, too. And, like, you know, the Facebook transphobes give me a lot of shit for that. But, like, honestly, sometimes I don't want to fucking deal with misogyny. And sometimes I just want to, like, wear cool clothes. And I want to wear clothes where I'm not feeling like my body is, like, being evaluated constantly. You enjoy being tomboyish and mannerisms. Nice. Some white trans women piss you off. They fit the mold of society, but then leave off everyone else. Exactly. Like, it's like, it's so much of a bigger conversation. Like, my really good friend, I don't want to, like, not saying this in a token way, I'm saying this in like an education way. On the podcast that I have, The Will of the Hunted, last season, I did an amazing episode with my friend Amara. She's a two-spirit Native American trans woman, and like learning about her story and her experience was just like so eye-opening to me. Please check her out. Her @ is @art of Amara, AMARA, and that is season 1, episode 3 on The Will of the Hunted. And it's a very good episode. Oh, wait, leaving everyone else out. Okay, I gotcha. So I've accomplished chapstick in the last 10 minutes. I need to do concealer on my nose. But there's like always more to learn, especially as white trans women. When we think we have it bad, like, we need to check our privilege. So it can be really easy to be like, yeah, I don't have to try as hard. But then that's also like not the tea. White privilege is still there. Yeah. Yeah, T.S. Madison, I remember her like causing some controversy recently where she was like coming for like white trans women who don't like try hard enough. And that created like this whole conversation about like misogyny, and then like the really unequal ground that like trans women, or like white trans women versus like BIPOC trans women are, and like that we have to, like, white trans women have less of a bar to reach. So And I'm trying to stay informed and like continue to break down and evaluate my white privilege. Like the whole Protect the Dolls movement really opened my eyes as well. There's just so much that I take for granted or I don't think about, you know, not saying that like my struggles are invalid, but it's definitely, you know, it's very important to kind of be aware of how the entire community is being impacted. And there's always room for growth. 12th card, popping in late, but glad to see we are still going. Greetings, AJ and all. Hi, good to see you. You're totally good. I need to be off by 9 p.m. at Eastern Standard Time because I have Ruby's podcast at 10 and I have to get set up for that. And I've been doing my makeup and this is as far as I've gotten in an hour. But I'm really enjoying the conversation. Intersectionality. Struggles exist in layers and Venn diagrams. Always room for another struggle. Yeah. Good to see you too. Yeah. And then there's like with MTF school, I feel like sometimes I'm like, wow, maybe I'm not being as intersectional as I need to be. Like maybe I'm just kind of like maybe I'm not kind of considering everyone's experiences, or like I don't know. I feel like there's more I could do to kind of make it not be like completely pink washed. Does that make sense? Like, oh my god, trans women, HRT, you know. So if you have any ideas, please let me know. 12 card, awesome. Looking forward to see the podcast. You got this. Oh my god, you don't need to shut up. I enjoy talking with you guys. You're not slowing me down. I'm having fun. And thank you. I don't know when the podcast is coming out yet, but I'm so excited. This is my first big podcast since I was on Barstool. So, probably gonna go better than that one. But, still, like, damn, it's been a long time. And I did talk about, like, trans stuff when I was doing podcasts and stuff back then. But now, I have PTSD and, like, all this other stuff has happened since then. So I'm, like, going to try to do a more holistic, like, trauma healing perspective. Oh, girl. Oh, girl. Oh, my God. I had a business coach who was helping me with my trans empowering clothing brand be like, hey, this Boston local Barstool show is being accused of being transphobic. You should offer to go on and, like, be a token. And I was like, yay! And it went about how you'd expect. And I was very young and I didn't really realize why that was a bad thing because I got so exploited. If you're really curious, like, I don't want to, like, promote them at all. What I will say is I did a TV interview after the Barstool one, and I may or may not have mentioned the name of the show, and it is still online. So on my YouTube, or if you just search Goodnight TV, AJ Nichols, that is my interview that I did with a TV station after the Barstool thing. And I'm really proud of that interview, so I'm going to push that. But you can find the Barstool interview if you look hard enough. But I don't want to, like... Anyways, so but it was a good learning experience for sure. And it's made me understand and appreciate my value as a trans creator. And, you know, self-respect and self-esteem are more important than trying to blindly get male attention at all costs. Your friend needs you. Okay, see you later, Spoopy. So yeah, so like, I did it. I'm not proud of it, but also I was really young and I was talked into it. Oh, you can online, okay. Night TV. On YouTube and watch that interview. There may be breadcrumbs in it. But I love that interview I did about being trans. That one was not Barstool. Okay. Okay, I will leave that. I'm proud of the TV interview. That was I was very, very nervous, but I did talk about being trans. So that is a good one, like for our community to like kind of check out if you're interested. But then the breadcrumbs follow and go into the other places. So that's what I'm gonna say. Just between us girls though, that Barstool interview did get taken down. And then it got put back up as a classic. And I saw that pretty recently and I was like, oh, classic. Right. It's not true you have more billion friends. Wait, sorry. Julia, don't worry, I'll stay here. I'm friendless and lame. That's not true. You're super cool and we're all here for you. So it's just, I had to literally do some extra therapy before doing this podcast, like TBH, because I was just like so scared about repeating that cycle. And obviously I'm doing it with another trans woman and an ally. I don't know how the other host identifies, but I just have to, you found it, had to cue it on YouTube. Okay. Yeah. So that the TV interview, I love that one. That happened a couple days after the Barstool one. And they did that because they saw me on Barstool. So, and I was in a really bad place when that happened. That Barstool interview happened at the very end of my first relationship, and we actually ended up kind of breaking up over it. And then I was just like, fuck yeah, freedom. Went on a bunch of hookups, got trafficked. And then I still was trying to get Barstool's attention over and over again. Like, please have me back on. Please have me back on. Because I just needed that. I needed validation. And I needed it so bad. And like, I spun out bad online. And they noticed. And they documented it. And that was embarrassing. But I understand why I acted that way. And, you know, we grow. That is so cool. Fuck Barstool is so hard for a variety of reasons. Did you make some cash on Barstool at least? No. Barstool was the top of the staircase. That was the step that I stepped on and it broke, and then I went all the way down into traffic. That's okay. Thank you. I'm okay. Thank you. I did not make any money. I did get a lot of Twitter followers, but like, hey, that's not my audience today, so it doesn't really matter. I also realized that after that experience, the people who I needed to try to be like engaging with was like my own community. And I didn't need to waste any more time trying to educate people who A, either weren't interested or were against it, or C, were just kind of in the DL Chaser tribe. Because, my God, that is Barstool. And, God, this is so embarrassing to admit. Like, after I got away from, oh my God, I can't believe I'm admitting this. After I got away from being trafficked, I started selling videos and was, you know, still in that mindset of, hey, I can do it myself and I can own my body and my power. And I was like planning on like doing all these hookups with all these Barstool guys. And I was selling videos, and like, God, that was a really bad time. And like, it took me a long time to kind of undo those thought patterns and like figure out how to be okay, and that like, I have value, and it's not based on what I can provide to men. Especially, you know, men who will like treat you like shit online and in the streets, but then like be all up in your DMs. That, like, no. That's kind of a big lesson for me. Not a chaser. Seems sort of chaser, but you're agender or demisexual, so ain't it. Your job as cis mask passing is to casually push cis folk. Hold on, I'm trying to do the math on that one. Not a chaser. Seems sort of chaser, but you're agender and demisexual, so you're male presenting, is what, I guess what you're trying to say. Your job as cis mask passing, is to try to casually push cis folk. Because it is not on the most vulnerable and abused to do this one. What do you mean push cis folk? But yeah. Also, like, I'd rather make myself vulnerable and admit this shit so that other girls don't fall into the same traps. So, like, I would do goddamn near anything to keep any girl out of the situations I've been through. Off a cliff. Wait, I'm sorry, I missed the first part. Your phone is going into your back pocket while you check out. Oh, check out at the store. Oh, okay. What's off a cliff? I'm sorry. Push cis folks into understanding trans identities and trans experiences. You can't take them all away, but you can explain some of the surface stuff everyone should know. Gotcha. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. And like, that's what I'm doing now is like, I'm putting most of my energy into the community, but then I know that people outside of the trans community are going to see my content and then learn something. And that trickle down effect is like what I've been working with. Instead of just trying to like literally like do everything. It was a reasonably unfunny joke, but I'm sorry, I missed the joke, I guess. But I trust you. God, I need to blush. But yeah, so episode 1 of The Will of the Hunted, I talk about basically the beginning of my transition into my first relationship, into Barstool, into trafficking, into getting out. And so that is very documented in episode 1 of The Will of the Hunted. And I think I wanted that to be a resource for like trans girls to kind of see what can happen in like a bad way and kind of know better than I did. And hopefully, I pray to God I can keep at least one more person out of what I went through. You rely on the idea that people will remember the really funny ones and not all the slop. Love that Zin. 1,000 attempts for 150 wins is good numbers. I'm getting 10 wins. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. But yeah, Barstool's just been really heavy on my mind getting ready for this podcast, because it's like, it's the first podcast I've done like really publicly since then, and it's, a lot has changed, and I'm just trying to remind myself that that is not what I'm going into. Joke slop. Oh my god. I love you guys. It's gonna be great though. Ruby Ray's awesome. She's an amazing trans content creator. Please follow her. It's at Fire From Heat. Zin said she had 15% funny jokes, which is 150 out of 1,000. You said you were getting 1% funny jokes, 10 out of 1,000. Oh, okay. Gotcha. Thank you. Ruby's fantastic. Yes. Oh, I'm so glad you like her too. Thank you, Julia. I really appreciate it. I can't wait to share the interview. I don't know when it's coming out, but it's supposed to be like 2 hours long, which is very different from like what I do for The Will of the Hunted, which is like half hour. So it's going to be fun, and it's going to be, I'm so excited. I don't know what to expect. I've listened to their show. I've done my research, but you know, going in prepared. I've done my homework, and we'll see what happens. And what I'm going to be wearing is actually like one of the pieces from my clothing brand, my trans empowering clothing brand that I was promoting when I was on Barstool, and the clothing brand that also became a against my will. But I'm reclaiming that too. So I'm reclaiming some of my designs. They're very trans empowering. Actually, that's the one I wore to Pride that year. I'm very excited to wear it. It's like a jumpsuit, but it has the trans flag on it, and I made it from scratch. It's almost the 24th. What's the 24th? I thought today was the 22nd. I'm smiling like I know what's going on. I have no idea. But yeah, so on the podcast, my, cause it's all about perspectives, and I'm going to share my perspective about finding emotional freedom through trauma healing as a trans woman. So I'm going to talk about MTF School. I'm going to talk about The Will of the Hunted. I'm going to talk about my own personal life. And yeah, it's going to be fun. I'm going to make sure that I'm going to talk MTF School, so there is some fun and it's not just dark and heavy. You loved the recent photo shoot in the half biker, half dive suit with the Akira vibes. Thank you. I'm really proud of those. That was my little kind of freedom photo shoot. To kind of be like, hey, I know who I am again, and I'm okay. And this is me. This is me. So thank you. That means a lot. Those are should I get hit by a bus tomorrow, that is how I want people to remember me. But I will not be around buses tomorrow. Oh my god. I almost just like yanked my light. You look back on your old photos of yourself, and every time you're a little less connected to your pre-transition self. Who the fuck is this chud? Girl. Self-love, but real. Like, the dysphoria monster taints the childhood and the pre-transition years for sure. Should I get hit by a bus tomorrow? Probably not. You know, there's always a light at the end of the tunnel. Sometimes I hope it's a train, and on good days, I hope it's the ocean. I did, okay. Highlighter. You get weird chaser men in your DMs every time you post. I'm sorry, girl. At least you kind of can recognize that and, like, stay away from that. But I'm sorry that people are weird. I posted one video. Like, out of all of my posts on my Instagram, I've posted myself in bikini once. And I had someone DM me about my feet, and I was like, God damn it! But then I was also like, I posted it online, I can't, that's just gonna happen, you know? But I was like, God damn it, that reel was about my transition. You had a guy come into your DMs and ask you about how HRTs changed your feet. Chasers aside, hormones do shrink your shoe size by like half a size. I did notice that as well, because you lose that muscle tone in your Achilles heel. Bone structure doesn't change, obviously, but yeah. But yeah, the chaser, joke's on him, your feet are ass. Oh my god. I'm sure your feet are great, Diva. There goes my light, almost. Yours did not shrink. How long have you been on hormones? It's definitely probably more towards the 2-year mark. If I am guessing. Sorry. What sucks is trying to connect with other trans folks, but the chaser swarm really casts a shadow. Hard to lead with. You don't fuck, you just need to be around other trans people. Yeah, it's very... rocking a size 14-ish women's shoes. Slay Diva. But yeah, it's so hard to find shoe sizes for our feet sometimes too. Because women's sizes only go up so big. 15 months, okay. Yeah, I don't know. I think it was like 1 to 2 years. That's when I noticed a lot of my, like, I lost a lot of, like, muscle weight. But then, like, the fat redistribution, everything changes, too, so. Yeah, there's, like, a very delicate balance of, like, showing that you are accepting. You would be an accepting dating partner to trans women without, like, making it seem creepy. And I understand, and I used to have a lot of reservations about men who said they were into trans women. And I used to not believe that it was, like, real outside of, like, the chaserdom. But it just has to be done very carefully for me. I don't know. Like, yeah. Like, if someone says they're only exclusively into trans women, that makes me, like, raise an eyebrow. But if someone says, oh, I love all women, or whatever, then I'm like, okay, slay. I swear all the online shoe stores are marketed like men. Men's shoes in women's sizes for sissy cross-dresser men. Oh no. Not men's shoes in women's sizes. That's so fucked. God damn. I also, like, have wide feet, so, like, what should fit me in women's doesn't. But I guess some shoe brands have wider sizes available. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Oh, I'm looking at all my brushes right here. Men's shoes and women's sizes for sissy crossdresser men is crazy. That is crazy work. What am I doing? Eyeshadow. It's better than I had imagined it could be. It is so sketchy, you were right. It really takes knowing people a while. Don't read this aloud for YouTube, but what is a... Oh. I'm not really sure I'm not sure I'm understanding your question. But guys, speaking of YouTube, whoa, that eyeshadow needs to be blended bad. So tricky. Okay. Some of these, like, MTF School Study Hall live recordings have like almost 100 views on my channel. It's nuts. And it's like, it's so cool that, like, hopefully people are, like, able to kind of put it on if they feel alone, or, like, they just need to hang out with people who are in the community. And, like, that makes me really happy. It's, like, that people are watching them. So that makes me really, really happy. And also, there's so many funny moments that I love clipping. Like, me, like, knocking over all my makeup shit, or, like... blend brush. So, like, trying to find community, or, like Ace. Wait, sorry, Julia, you had a message. When you're going into transition, you kind of figured you would never pass, and that the average person would ridicule and mock you, and that 12th card, if you DM me, I can try to figure out more of what you're saying. And you also, yeah. Okay. Julia, when you were going into transition, you kind of figured you'd never... I'm so sorry. And the average person would... And that it would be only other trans women who could get on with. Nowadays, you probably get sirred about as often as you get called ma'am pre-transition. Right, okay. And the average cis person has been substantially kinder and more embracing of my transition than I thought was possible. There are notable exceptions, obviously, but it has been really good overall. I'm really glad. I'm really glad. That's like... I really hate the term passing privilege, but it, like... Once you kind of clear that that hurdle from like the kind of really awkward early transition stage, you can kind of become a little bit more invisible and enjoy your transition. And, you know, sometimes that's good for survival. Sometimes it's just like a relief. But passing privilege doesn't take away the fact that you will always think of yourself as trans, and you're always thinking other people are clocking you. And it's like, you know, passing privilege is weaponized against girls. And also is just like a very really sucky bar that, like, you know, that's the goal. You've completed your transition. Congratulations, you look like a woman. Like, it's so shitty. It is so shitty. Okay, 12:30, you gotta go. DM at some point sounds good. Thanks for hanging out. Have a great night. Passing privilege is being yourself and escaping oppression, not needed for self, but valuable for survival. Exactly. Like the term, like the idea of passing privilege it's not a real thing. Like, how you see yourself being happy in your transition is you looking at you, like a version of you. It's not like the term. I don't know if that makes sense. Okay, thanks, guys. Thank you. Oh my god. Oh fuck, it's 9. Thank you. You boy moded hard until after your mail failing. Mail fail is a new word. I have not heard that much. Pretty much all the time. Thank you so much, Julia. Thank you guys. I'm like, my time management is so bad with DID. I fucking swear to God. I have no sense of time. I am late every day to work. It is bad. I don't need to go. You need to go for a podcast. Oh, you said you need to go. Okay. Okay, guys. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you, everyone who's hung out. I will upload this when I get a chance, probably tomorrow. And, yeah, let's stay in touch. Okay. Love you. Thank you so much. And I'll keep you posted on the podcast and everything. And, please check out, the movie I was in, Chapman Speaks, that is re-releasing tonight. On Overtly Critical Films. It's in the comments if you scroll up a little bit before I end the live. Chapman Speaks. I play a news producer, and we take down fascism together. So, anyways. Okay. Love you. Bye. Thank you. Love you guys. I really appreciate you so much.